Hi, in today's video I'm going to be taking a look at changing your GIT pager to BAT. Now BAT is an improved version of CAT with syntax highlighting. And what I'm going to do is play a quick clip from Hendry's channel about using TIG with GIT. Now TIG is a sort of ncurse interface to GIT that will show you all the commits. So I'll play a quick clip and this will explain what the problem is. So I'll just put this full screen and play this.
Now, normally TIG just shows you the different patch sets between the revisions. It doesn't actually sort of show you the file. So the way that I do it is I have this special bind in my TIG-RC, it's capital V, and that allows me to sort of view the file with a rather bad pager. So I press capital V here, and I can see that it started off with Golang Alpine in this Docker file. And
so basically what we've got there is using TIG to view the full file of a commit. So if I come across to GitHub, what I'll show you is, if I just come across to one of my scripts, what you can see here is we have a history option, and this is basically showing us all the commits for this file. And what you can do is sort of browse the repository at this point in history. So if you do browse the repository at this point in history, I think, and then come back, it will show you the full file of that commit. So what we want to basically be able to do is the same thing with TIG. So if I run TIG and the name of the script, as you see, we have the similar sort of layout to what we have on GitHub, where it's, if I come back here, we have all the different commits for this script. And again, if we go into one of these in TIG, basically the issue is it's just going to show us the changes in the file. It doesn't actually show us the full file. So what Hendry's script does, if I just come across to config TIG, what we have here is a key binding, which is capital V, and basically what that does is that runs a shell and executes the git show command. What you can see here is we've got 1 and 2, and these correspond to commit and the file arg. So this is like the commit hash, and this is the actual file name. So if I come back to TIG, what happens now is if I press capital V on the keyboard, as you can see, what it's doing is it's actually piping this into BAT, and we have syntax highlighting. So I've got all the numbers, and I have nice syntax highlighting, and you can choose different themes as well. So the advantage of this is, if I now press enter to continue, it will quit back to TIG, is you can actually come through, I can say I can come through to this version here. I press capital V, and it's basically going to show me the full script at that point in time. So you can see this is the first version of the script. I can now come back up to the top, capital V, and I can see the current version here. And again, I've got all the line numbers, I've got all the syntax highlighting. So it's a much better pager to use than the sort of the built-in one. I'm going to show you how we set this up. There's only a couple of steps. First of all, we need to install TIG and BAT. So that'd be sudo apt install, well, let's do it properly. So as apt install TIG and BAT. That will install those. Now these both have configuration files that follow XDG specifications, so they'll be in the .config directory. So if I just switch across to Emacs here, we have .config here, we have TIG, and we have the config file here, and this is Hendry's key binding, and again it's capital V, and basically whenever we want a particular commit for a file and we press CapitalV, it's going to show us that full file. So that's the TIG setup. The next thing that we actually want to do is set up the environmental variable for the GIT pager. Now there's two ways you can do this. You can either do this as a environmental variable in your shell config, or you can actually specify it in your git config. But what I did was put this in my shush environment here. I'll come down to the bottom. What we've got is export git underscore pager equals bat -- color always -l and rs, and that's basically what gets it to work. If you just use git pager bat, it doesn't have the syntax highlighting. You've actually got to add these other options. Let's have a look at that. Man bat. So what were the options? -l and rs. Okay, this. So you can set the language and stuff. Where was the rs? Line range, and there was another one, -s. I'm not totally sure what they do, but basically it works. So that's the main thing. So in my zsh environmental env file, I'm putting export git underscore pager bat -- color equals always space -l space -rs. You then source that file. So run source zsh env, and that will pick up the changes. Now the other thing that we can do is change the theme that bat uses. So if you run bat -- list themes, I think it is. Okay, what that does is actually prints out a list of themes that are built in. You can actually add your own themes as well, but I'm not going to cover that. But basically what you'll see here is theme and the name of the theme, and it's actually printing out the same block of code, but with the color scheme of that theme in the terminal. So you can come through and go, okay, you know, pick one you want. There's Dracula, there's GitHub, we've got Nord, we've also got Solarized Dark, which is what I'm using. So basically what you do is just run that command, bat space -- list - themes, and it's going to print this out, and this will show you all the built-in themes that you can use for the syntax highlighting. Again, that was the command. And then after you've done that and selected the theme, you just need to put that option in your configuration file for bat. So that would be .config bat config, and you can see that the option is like this. It's the same as how you'd run it on the command line, funnily enough, in the actual config file, which is a bit unusual. So we have -- theme equals solarized dark. So if I run that again, bat -- list themes, you'll notice the name here, solarized dark. So you actually need to put this in quotes for it to work. Same as any ones with spaces, obviously. So that's the bat configuration file. Then again, we've got the TIG. So we've got TIG, got bat, and then finally we have our zsh environmental file with the export git pager. So that's the three things that you need to do, as well as obviously installing the programs. And once you've done that, I'd come across into my, say, .files. What we can do is actually run TIG on any of these files and see all the commits for that file, and also view the file at that point in the history. So let's pick the .emacs file, for instance, tig.emacs. So you can see here, it's actually saying I've got unstaged changes. Yeah, as we can see here. So let's commit the changes. Emacs. Just push them and run this command again. Okay, so we can use J and K to go up and down, and if we press enter, it's going to basically show us the changes here, so we can see what changes have been made. So the pluses, you can see this has been added. You basically then press Q to quit this. So if I press Command V here, what you'll see is we now have this piped into BAT with syntax highlighting using the solarized dark theme. We've got the line numbers. So it's just much nicer pager to use with Git and TIG. You can come up to the latest version here. Press CapitalV, and that pipes it in. So the advantage of this is you can do it on any. You can run TIG in a directory like this, and it's going to show you everything. But funnily enough, if I do CapitalV on this, it's actually just printing the everything in the Git repository. It's not actually going to show you the file. So what you need to do is actually not just run TIG like that. You need to run it with a file as an argument. So TIG, let's see, .tmux. And so you can see here it is now typing this in. We've got all the line numbers, all the syntax highlighting, just makes it much easier to read. So that's basically how you can emulate this, browse point at history on GitHub, and then you can come back in and view the file at that point. So that's what we're trying to emulate on the command line using TIG. So again, we've got you can see all the commits. We can press return and view the changes, quit, or we can just press CapitalV now, and it's going to type it into BAT with the syntax highlighting with the theme we specified, and show us the file at that point in the history, which is really useful because sometimes you want to go back and check stuff, and there's a way to do this manually, but you've actually got to get the commit. You actually have to sort of get the commit from this information here. You can see the commits up here. When you're doing this on the command line manually, you've got to sort of come back. Basically, what you can do is git show the commit and then the file name. So you can do this manually on the command line, but using TIG is much more convenient. You can view all the commits, and now using Hendry's keybinding, basically you can pipe that into a pager so you can see the file at that point in the history, and using BAT as your Git pager, you can actually get the line numbers, you can get the syntax highlighting, and again you can actually install your own theme. So if you have a look on the BAT GitHub page, it will tell you how you can install your own custom themes as well. But basically, again, to list the themes, you just run BAT -- list themes. You could also do something, and if I just switch to the desktop, if you wanted to save that, you could just redirect that into something like themes. And if I come across here, it's actually just it's not printing out the code, it's actually just printing out the names. But that would also be a useful way to just grab the names rather than trying to copy them in the terminal. So this will give you a list of all the installed themes with BAT, so you can come through, select one, and then, as I say, config is config BAT config, and you specify it like this: -- theme equals, and the name of the themes in quotes. So I can change that. So let's come across and change that to Dracula, for instance. Okay. And now if I run TIG again, yeah, you can see it's changed the theme there. So now we've got the Dracula theme instead of Solarized Dark. So it's as easy as that to change the themes with BAT. That's how you list them out. And that's how you put them in the config file. So again, there's only 3 things you need to do after installing TIG and BAT. That's set the BAT config, set the TIG key binding, and set the ZSH environmental variables. And again, this was from Kai Hendry's channel about file history with TIG and Vim Fugitive, which is something I didn't cover there because I was just sort of showing this in Emacs and on the command line. But have a look at his channel; he's got some good stuff there. And I did actually leave a comment about this little fix. So using BAT as your GIT pager will give you syntax highlighting, and it's really easy to change the theme. Come across GitHub BAT. Okay, so this is the BAT site on GitHub. Syntax highlighting, Git integration, can show non-printable characters, automatic paging. There's got lots of stuff here. Integrates with other tools, so it shows you how to integrate it with other tools as well, like ripgrep, find, or FD or FCF. So it's really really good tool. It's a much better paging than just using cat or less. So if you come across to this site, there'll basically be some stuff, probably a wiki here or something, telling you how you can customize it. So we go customization. Okay, highlighting themes. So again, -- list themes, and this is basically going to tell you how you can install your own custom themes as well, or your own new syntaxes or language definitions. So easy to set up. Just install a couple of programs, add a couple of things in your config, and then again, let's have a look at another file. Okay, and again, this is using Dracula. So it's just much nicer than a if I was to just cat that out or run less on that, say cat. See, that's what it looks like with cat or less. That's it with less. Obviously, you can just run BAT against the file, and it's going to show it to you like that. But that's not going to show it to you at a particular point in the Git history. It's just going to show you the latest version. So that's why you might want to have a look at TIG and BAT so that you can actually see all the different commits and actually see the full file at that point in time with line numbers and syntax highlighting and a nice theme of your choice. So that's another Christmas tip. So again, have a look at Kai Hendry's channel. Got some good stuff on here that's worth a look. That's all for now.